For this video, I'm taking you for a full tour of the National Naval Aviation Museum located in Pensacola, Florida. So if you've ever visited my channel in the past, you'll know that I'm a huge fan of airplanes, as well as cars and trucks and boats and trains, and so pretty much anything that moves. A huge fan. And I think air museums are probably my absolute favorite attraction out of all of them. There's just something magical about seeing airplanes, especially when they're nicely restored and maintained like they are here. This museum here in Pensacola is certainly the nicest one that I know of in Florida. I mean, I still haven't been to Fantasy of Flight, but the schedule on that particular museum is kind of tough for me to mesh with my own schedule, so I'm going to get out there eventually. And that probably is the best museum in Florida for vintage planes. When it comes to fighter jets and military aircraft, obviously Pensacola is the best in Florida by far. I mean, I'm a little bit torn because I still think the Air Force Museum in Warner Robbins is my absolute favorite, at least in the Southeast. But that's mostly because of the aircraft they have. You know, I'm a huge fan of like the SR-71 Blackbird, and they've got one up there because, you know, the Air Force and the Navy never ran those, so that's why I kind of give Warner Robbins a slight edge, but that's my personal bias coming out. Now, one of the things that you'll quickly notice about this particular museum too is they actually have multiple wings. They've got a west wing, a south wing, hangar bay 1. There's a Blue Angel atrium, and then they have a bunch of aircraft display outdoors as well. So there's a lot to see and do here. And while my favorite aircraft is an SR-71, this museum does have my second and third favorite aircraft. So there is an F-14 Tomcat on display, as well as an FA-18 Hornet. And those planes are really amazing to see in person. There's a reason those are my second and third favorites, and man, I mean, let's face it, I grew up watching Top Gun. I mean, that movie was amazing. I was blown away by Top Gun Maverick, and there's just something magical about those old F-14 Tomcats. I mean, the swing wings are just cool. They're always going to be cool. They're going to be cool 50 years from now. And speaking of Top Gun, they do have an exhibit at the museum dedicated to the Top Gun Legacy aircraft. So they've got a lot of the equipment that they use at the Navy Fighter Weapons School, including like the T-38 Talons, as well as the F-16s they fly as adversary aircraft. And like I mentioned earlier, they have an atrium dedicated to the Blue Angels stunt team, so you can see all the aircraft that the Blue Angels fly in. And their synchronized, flying is amazing. I mean, everybody knows the Blue Angels, and there's a lot of displays about the history of the team and how it all started. Now, when it comes to the oldest aircraft here at the museum, most of those seem to be located in the South Wing. That's where you're going to find the really, really old stuff, like all the way back from like World War I. There's quite a few really, really old pieces. I don't remember seeing anything quite that old in Warner Robbins, so that's something that you might consider when you're comparing the two, because Pensacola and Warner Robbins are, they're in neighboring states. If you're weighing the pros and cons between the two museums, if you want to see the really, really old stuff, then Pensacola's got Warner beat. You know, I don't remember seeing all that many airplanes from World War I up there in Georgia. Another really unique piece that I've never seen really done anywhere else. They have a 1/4 scale replica of an aircraft carrier, in this case the USS Nimitz. And I always like seeing the Nimitz because that was the aircraft carrier they used in the Kirk Douglas movie, The Final Countdown. Hangar Bay 1 is my favorite section of this museum. That's where they have an F-4 Phantom. They've also got an intruder in there, as well as the F-14 Tomcat that I was talking about earlier. Overall, this particular museum has about 150 restored and vintage aircraft on display, so it's pretty much impossible for me to talk about them all in a 10-minute video. They also have a pretty nice gift shop, as well as an on-site restaurant, so you can pretty much spend the whole day here if you really wanted to. And on top of all those amenities, this museum has free admission for everyone. So what's the bottom line for the National Naval Aviation Museum? It's really nice. It's one of the largest museums in the entire nation, and it's one of the aviation museums that I would highly recommend visiting. You know, there's some aviation museums that are pretty small and I wouldn't plan a vacation around. This isn't one of them. I could definitely see planning a trip to Pensacola just to see this particular museum. It's that big and that impressive. What's also remarkable to me is the free admission. You know, it seems like some of the best museums out there, whether you're talking about Warner Robbins or the Steamtown Train Museum in Scranton, it seems like some of the best places around have free admission. It's amazing, and Pensacola is another one of those museums. It's just such a beautiful place to come on vacation. It sure beats paying $150 at the gate for a theme park. Now, just be aware that this particular museum is located on an active military base, and the security is a lot tighter than a lot of museums, so you're going to have to go through like a military checkpoint to actually visit that. And some people might be turned off by that. Didn't bother me. I don't have any criminal record or anything, so didn't have to worry about any issues. But some people, I don't know. I don't know how strict they are when it comes to whether they do a background check or not with your driver's license. So just be aware of that. I don't remember that kind of crazy level of security when I went to go visit museums in Steamtown or Warner Robbins. Well, that wraps up all my thoughts on this museum. For the rest of this video, I'm just going to play a little music to finish the tour. Thanks for joining me on this tour of the National Naval Aviation Museum. If you enjoyed this vlog of the Adventure Schmuck, don't forget to like and subscribe.